I create food content online and also run an agency. These are things that genuinely have a positive impact in my life. Take a hobby that doesn't involve technology. Mine happens to be cooking and reading. Just being away from the screen keeps you busy for the right reasons, gives you peace and some mental clarity as well. As long as the hobby that you pick is something that you genuinely enjoy and you're not picking a hobby just because you're following what everyone else is doing, just pick something that you like. I think I pulled up my phone one day and my screen time was like 6 hours a day. Looking at the screen, scrolling through social media for this long a day has definitely taken a toll on my mental health, even my energy levels, So yeah, pick a hobby that is anti-technology. So number 2 is what doesn't get scheduled gets ignored. You don't have to be perfect at this. I'm not perfect at this, but being better at scheduling intentionally has definitely had a positive impact on my productivity and just my life in general. Make use of Google Calendar. It's a free tool, especially if you're a freelancer or you do your own thing, you're a content creator. I think this really applies to people like this. I was a freelancer before, and now I'm just doing my own thing, running the Creative Pistachio and doing food content. Freedom comes with a cost. We don't have anyone to manage us. We are our own managers. You are responsible for how you use your time. One thing that I realized is when I was in uni, even though I was super busy with scheduled classes, have you ever realized when you were in uni, a lot of your time was spent in class? You got a lot of homework done, assignments, projects, whether it's group or individual projects. The moment I started freelancing, which was during COVID, I had all the time to myself. So I didn't have the pressure of submitting an assignment. There was no deadline per se, and I just got really unproductive because there was nothing external telling me to do something by a certain time. So if you feel like you're unproductive, try time blocking. Make use of Google Calendar. It's a free app and it doesn't have to apply to just work. If you want to be intentional about taking care of a friendship, set a specific time each week to meet up with that friend. My next advice is, if you have been thinking about doing something for a very, very long time, just start. There's a phrase that a lot of people have been throwing around, and it's definitely not from me, but I'm gonna say it anyway. The best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago, and the second best time is now. If you're thinking of moving to a new city, creating content, starting a business, whatever it is, you don't necessarily have to do something really big at once, but small steps. Maybe start talking to some people who can help you with this. I think sometimes we just overthink too much and we want to wait for the right time to start something. While I think that in some situations that is right to do, in many cases we always overplan for the future. A lot of people I know want to start creating content and they don't know how. Rather than waiting to get new gear, in this case it would probably be using your phone or whatever you have on hand to record a video and just post it on YouTube. If you've never done this before, it's gonna be bad anyways, but you will learn as you go along. Imagine if you started creating videos today, and if you do it consistently, you will learn new things after each video. 1 year later, 2 years later, 10 years later, you're gonna be really far ahead compared to if you didn't take that step in the first place. Think of the smallest thing that you can do today and start now. The next thing I want to share is pretty controversial. If you're in your 20s, if you can, don't spend money on a car. Just to be completely transparent, number 1, I share a car with my family. We have one car right now where 3 family members, including myself, share it. So there's gonna be many times where I don't have access to the car, and I use public transport most of the time. This might not apply to you if you have to travel to work every single day, back and forth, or you have a family and you do need to rely on a car, and an emphasis on you do need to rely on it. Even if you don't have a shared car with your family, if you're in your 20s, and I'm gonna stress the next point, if you do not need to travel every single day, it's very likely that it's gonna be more cost effective to just rely on public transport, even if you use Grab. And I know that some of you might ask, isn't Grab expensive? Yes, but the cost of a car does not just include your monthly installment. It also includes parking, road tax, insurance, wear and tear, and petrol. If you travel less than half of the days a month, if you travel for less than 15 days a month or even less, and you own a car, the rest of the days that you're not using your car, it's just sitting there and you still have to pay for it. But if you use public transport, you only pay when you need to travel. There's gonna be times where you don't have a choice and you need to pay a little bit more for Grab. The public train network in Malaysia is pretty well planned out. You can always take a Grab to the nearest LRT station and then take the train to wherever you want to go. You can even start learning on how like the bus stop networks work over here. 75% of the time I use public transport and it has saved me a lot of money. And I remind you that this might not be for everyone, so please be responsible for your own money. I'm just sharing what works for me. Whether it works for you or not, it's up to you to decide. Next one, who you know is more important than what you know. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. Be open to network with people. There are many times where just being a kind person has helped me a lot. I'm not saying that you have to be extraordinarily kind. That's a really big word. I might be very positive on camera or seem maybe, but I do have my bad days. But always try to put your best foot forward to meet new people. There's many times where I've gotten gigs from a friend or a mutual friend. My team and I did good work for this person, and then this person recommended us to another person. Continue to expand your network, and I promise that it will benefit you in the long run. Buy it nice or buy it twice. It doesn't apply to every single thing you buy. Things that have the biggest impact in your life, spend money to get a good version of it, rather than spending less money and getting the version of it that will definitely not last forever or has a negative impact on you. I'll give you a really relevant example to this. Pans. I hate non-stick pans, but I do recommend that you get one or two just for specific, very, very specific use cases. Like let's say eggs. I wish I have the skills, or I'm a trained chef to use a metal pan, a stainless steel pan to make eggs, but I don't have that skill right now, so unfortunately I still have to use a non-stick pan for that. Non-stick pans are not meant to last forever. They are not suitable for high heat cooking. The coating wears off over time and it's just not the healthiest thing to eat. You need to be really careful with it. You can't use metal on it, and even if you're careful, it's not meant to last forever. Stainless steel or cast iron pans are meant to last forever, especially stainless steel. They cost more in the short term, but in the long run, they cost less. I would much rather buy a stainless steel pan and a cast iron pan once than to get 10 different non-stick pans throughout my life. And now that I own a cast iron pan and a stainless steel pan and I'm starting to use them, I do wish that I've gotten them a little bit sooner. They're incredibly durable. They are basically unbreakable unless you probably drop it from a plane. I don't know, healthier to use. And I'll say that if you learn how to use a stainless steel pan and cook without anything sticking on it, and show that skill to your family and friends, you will immediately be the coolest person in that room. That's about it from me. I know this is kind of like a mishmash video of different advice. I just wanted to pull out the camera, record something, publish something to YouTube. I usually just do food related stuff here, cafe hopping, vlogs. I know this is kind of like very different. Let me know what you guys think. Should I do more of this? If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. Subscribe, let's be friends, and I'll see you next time.